All right, welcome back or first time ever. I don't know. Rapid Results Business Coaching for Contractors. This is probably the first video I'm sending you. It's definitely one of the first three videos I'm sending you. It's time to get busy. It's time to get busy. If you get nothing else from this program, I mean, this should be a 3 to 5 year program. Us working together to grow a business that you can give to your children, give to your wife. If something happened to you, sell it, open up other locations in different areas and put the same systems together. And this is the beginning of it. From here on in, for the rest of your life, we're going to be tracking every penny that comes in and every penny that goes out. And we're going to start with tracking your projects. And this was hard for me to get in the beginning. So, just money in general, because I grew up so poor. I remember it was a big mental hurdle for me to overcome, giving estimates to homeowner, because I was using my own mental like bank account, how broke I was. So I'd be giving a homeowner an estimate. It'd be $1,400, $1,500 and then in my head that was a lot of money. I'm like, who the hell's got $1,500 to spend? Much less you start charging, a $3,000 estimate, a $5,000 estimate, $25,000 estimate, 50,000. I'm like, oh my God! It's like, no, it was hard for me to overcome. But we're going to start tracking everything, and I don't care how you do it. You can use a $500 a month CRM app. And I take that back. No, you can't. For these first 6 months, and then we will revisit it. But for these first 6 months, you're going to do it two ways. You're going to do it with a pen and a piece of paper, and you're going to do it typing it into like Google Docs or whatever you come up with, whatever you're using right now. But I want you to start doing every project you have. I want you to do two estimates. One estimate for the homeowner that you give the proposal, you give it to them. This is the work you're going to be doing. This is how much that work is going to cost them. And their payment plan, the deposit down, deposit when you start, deposit during the job, and then the balance, however it is that you work it. And then the second estimate is going to be for you and the company. We're going to find out exactly what's going on. This is for the first 6 months, and then we'll revisit it. You're going to have a little sheet of paper like this. Let me share the screen. So just real basic. If you don't have something like this, let me know. I'll email you this. If you want to make it fancy and put all your information up at the top and logo and stuff, that's fine. I just want you to print this out. You can type into it and you can print it out, but I want you to print it out. I want you to write it out by hand. The job information, name, address, phone number, start date, how much you're charging them, and what it is that you're doing. This is the estimate. Remember, how many days to complete? What do you think? 2 days, 3 days, 3 months? What is it? How many hours each day? You're going to be there 3 days. You're going to be there 10 hours each day. Day one schedule. I want you to write down what it is that you think you're going to accomplish on the first day, what you think you're going to accomplish the second day. And if you're going to be there 30 days, every day, I want you to write down what you think you're going to be accomplishing. What's the schedule going to be for that day? I actually like it hour by hour almost. From 7 a.m. to noon, we're going to get this much done. From 1 o'clock till 3 o'clock, we're going to get this much done. 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, whatever it is. Describe what it is that you're doing, what supplies you're going to need. Write it out in detail. You're going to need this much paint, this much primer, this many brushes, this much tape, this much plastic, this much finish, this whatever it is you're doing, plumbing, roofing, whatever it is. Write down all the supplies you think you're going to need. And if there's anything different about this project that you should know. I really like day scheduling. Day one, you're going to get there at 7 o'clock and then write down what it is you think is going to be going on. Get there at 7 o'clock. Maybe a 3-man crew. So and so is going to be pulling out the tarps, covering the driveway, covering up the sidewalk, the entryway bricks. Everything's protected immediately before anything comes off the van. You're writing that down. You have to move furniture. You don't move furniture. You're hanging plastic to protect stuff in the house. Right. So and so is going to be doing this, taking this equipment out of the van, this tool, all that. I like the more detailed you can get, the better. The more detailed you can get, the better. You don't have to give the price wise, but you should very detailed, written, make copies, hand it to everybody. Say, here's what the schedule is. Just like a playbook for football. The quarterback, the coaches, everybody knows what's going on. You're practicing the game that's coming up. You know the team that you're playing, what plays they're going to be doing. You've got plays to offset that, all of that stuff. You're figuring these jobs out before you even go to the job. You with me? So that's the your estimate for yourself. Once the job is finished, and you're going to be tracking it daily. So if it's a 3-day or a 30-day job, day one, you need to be writing down what got done. We got there at 7 o'clock. We did this. Blah, 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 blah. We used this much materials. Blah, 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 blah. Write it down. Day two, we wrote this. No. Because at the end of the project, and you're going to be sending me these. I want you to send me for the next 6 months, every project you're doing, you're going to be sending me the pre-planned project, your estimate of what's going to go on and how it's going to go on. And then at the end of the project, you're going to fill this out. And it's just the post project. That job, now it's like we estimated it and we thought this was going to happen. And here's what really happened. So how many days did it really take? Maybe you thought it was going to take 6 days. You got done in 4. Good for you. Maybe you thought it was going to take 4 days. It took 6 days. Why? How many hours each day? How many guys? All that stuff. And it'll be another video for tracking the jobs. Maybe it's this video, but you should be tracking daily how much money you're spending per job. We got to come up with a system, a sheet of paper. I can send you hours or something, but you just take a notebook. November 6th, you had 3 guys on the job, Bill, Ted, and Jimmy, whatever it is. All 3 guys worked 8 hours. Bill gets $22 an hour. Jim gets $35 an hour. So-and-so gets $12 an hour. For these next 6 months, have the vanilla folder. I want everything hands-on touched. We've got to subconsciously train you. And that's going to go into the file folder. So at the end of the week, we know exactly how many hours were spent on each job. But back to the post project. Day one, what did you get done? Maybe write down what you thought. We already know what you thought you were going to get done, and we're going to compare the two. Day 2, day 3, describe what happened. Describe all the supplies that you were using. Roofer, plumber. This probably doesn't. Well, for sure, roofing. What products you used? What colors? What brand? What sheen? How many guys? What days did they work? How many hours each day? What could you have done better? What went great? What didn't go so great? Upload the before and after pictures. Upload the before and after videos, and all the information. It's going to go into a Google Docs, or it's going to go into a Microsoft Doc. Google Docs, that means everybody can share it. You don't need a super fancy CRM. You can just type it in. It's in Google Docs. It's in Microsoft Word. And every project has its own file. You've heard me talk about it. Now it's time to put it in to practice. And that's it. It's a short video. I just need you to start tracking right now, every project that you do. before you, if you're in the middle of a project right now, stop before you go to work tomorrow. Write down uh, the rest of the project, how you think it's going to go, how many hours you think it's going to take, what supplies you're going to need, all of that stuff. As a matter of fact, just write it out as if you before you started it. You kind of get to cheat because you've been there a couple of days already, maybe. But write down what you thought it was going to take, what you thought you were going to get done, everything. Just start right now. Start right now. Grab the notebook, grab the pen, and just start writing it down. Write it, everything that we just went over. Rip out the sheet of the notebook, make copies, take a screenshot of it, send that to me. That's all you need to do. You write it down, take a screenshot, send it to me. Let me know what your plans are for this project. And we're going to talk about, because when we have our meeting at the end of the month or the beginning of the month, whatever, we get to go over these projects and say, man, well, what happened, Bill? On this project, you thought this was going to happen and this happened. How could you have made that better? But we're going to track it. That's tracking everything is how we get the systems in place. We're going to be tweaking these systems for the next 3 years, maybe 5. But it just starts right now, tracking it. I know the more you do it, the easier it's going to become. And it's going to be repetitive, and that's okay. Make it repetitive. One of the smartest men of our time, Albert Einstein, said he does not try to remember anything he can write down. Write it down. Let's start tracking all of it. Because at the end of it, we're going to find out, one, the most important number of all, how much profit are each of these projects bringing in. Because we need to know. We need to know what the profit is. Because once we do 3 to 5 jobs, we're going to get the average of those 5 jobs, 10 jobs. So if we know the one job, maybe there was a $800 profit. Maybe one job was an $8,000 profit. Maybe one job was a $3,000 profit. But we're going to average that out over a 10 job project, over a year actually. But we're going to start with the next 5 jobs, the next 10 jobs. We're going to start averaging that out. Because if we realize that the average job brings in a profit of $5,000, then we can spend $500, $600, $700 for one project. I mean, if you're spending $500 to get one project, meaning maybe you're spending $75 per lead. Maybe some parts of the year you will be. Other parts of the times of the year you won't be, because we're going to average that out also. But if the average project that you do brings in a $5,000 profit, and you have to spend $500 to get that project, big deal. I mean, come on. I'd give you $500 all day long if you're going to, in return, give me $5,000. But we're going to get those numbers right now, unless you can show me on your in your books, in your accounting, your CPA, all of that stuff. Unless you have it recorded somewhere and say, oh, Brian, here's what we're doing, blah, 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 because we need to know all of those numbers. We need to know the lifetime value of a client. We need to know what the average profit of a project is, and we can go from there. So you got this video right now. Your homework assignment, dude, that sounds like a Mission Impossible. If you choose to accept it, you've already chose. All right. You got to get busy. All right, guys. So master your business, dominate your trade, kick your competition's ass. I will see you on the next video.